Welcome to The Gorgeous Effect. I'm Julie Chanel, and with my co-founder, Cathy Olson, we're about to drop some serious tea on how to create funnels that not only look amazing, but actually convert into customers. It's time to show the world what you've got. Let's do this. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Gorgeous Effect. This is Julie and Cathy, and today we're talking about side hustles, hobbies, and your main business, and how to do it, if to do it, when to do it, and how to make sure that it's not taking over your life and getting your finances all mixed up. This is a topic very close to home for me, given that I started this little side quest of raising sheep. And I know, Cathy, you are super into fashion these days, and we are both very busy co-founders of Funnel Gorgeous. So I thought this would be a great discussion to have.
It's probably more common than we think because it's like, how do you businessify your brain? Like anytime you do a hobby, every single time I do a hobby, I'm like, can I make money at it? Like, I don't know how to unthink that. So I feel like there's probably everybody else is like that. So I guess the question is what is the difference between a hobby and a side hustle, right? And like, how do you decide? Yeah, let's start
Yeah.
there because I
Okay.
feel like that's the best place to start because sometimes it really is just a hobby and it's going to cost you money and that's
Right.
it.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that my obsession with Disney World is definitely a hobby. Have I been able to monetize Disney World? No, not really. I mean, does my hobby of going to Disney World accentuate my business? Absolutely. But this is just something that's going to cost me money. And I have come to terms with that. I am not going to monetize I'm not going to become a Disney influencer. To me, that's a hobby. To me, reading is a hobby. To me, I don't know, belly dancing is a hobby. Like these types of things that are just good for my mental health, good for my family life versus a side hustle which is designed you're thinking about it in terms of instead of being like, "Oh, this is a cool hobby, maybe I could make money out of it." Side hustles usually start with like, "Ooh, maybe I should make some more money." And then people start to think, "Well, what can I do that makes more money?" And I want to just make a distinction really, really clear is that it is absolutely imperative that you know what your financial situation is when you are embarking on main business, side hustles, hobbies. Because if you do not know financially where you're going or what you're doing, your emotions, the market could really mess you up, like really bad.
100%. I was thinking as you were saying that, I was like, there's certain hobbies that you don't want to monetize on purpose because you want them to stay pure, I guess,
Yeah.
because I think that's the thing. It's like, well, if this really is your hobby and your love, then maybe it's not a good time to do, you actually don't want to like dirty it up or muddy the waters
Or just put pressure
versus,
on yourself, right? To
yeah,
have it make money.
a
Yeah.
100%. Like, yeah, because like I do know Disney influencers. Like, I literally have friends who are Disney influencers, and it does hurt. Like, it kills their love a lot. Like, in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, it actually makes it so that what they used to love to do, that they start to hate to do it. So I think you have to be careful when you're going that route. I mean, 100% what you said about the money thing, because this can make or break. A side hustle can make or break a main hustle, like
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
I should want to say, shouldn't say make. It can break. So I do think you need to pay attention to that. So it's almost like both. I think you need to worry about like, what do I love this enough that if it gets a little tainted, will I be really sad? Because if I start making money at it, start getting paid for it, will I stop loving it? Um, and then also, do I have the time, bandwidth? I mean, I think that where we really need to look out is if you are like a solopreneur, this is going to be a huge, you got to make sure like you have a time. Like if you don't have an EA, if you don't have people answering your emails, if you don't have some kind of systems in place or automations, you're almost not allowed to do this. I think because,
Yeah. I mean,
right? Like, wouldn't that be the scare? That would be the worst case scenarios if you are a solopreneur and you're not being careful, right?
right. Well, I mean, I think I look at myself, I've been in business for over 10 years and I've largely kept the same business. I've pivoted slightly from done for you to courses to coaching, but I've been in marketing and funnels for over a decade now. And I'm really established here. And it's not like I'm just trying to, make systems. My coaching program is 8 years old, which is like ancient in internet marketing world. Funnel Gorgeous is very established. It has infrastructure. And I'm still easily dedicating probably 30 hours a week to those businesses. When I decided, hey, I'm going to do a side hustle, it was not like I need to make more money today. Because if I need to make more money today, I need to look at my main businesses. I need to look at, okay, what can we do in Funnel Gorgeous or what can I do in Digital Insiders? Looking at a side hustle as a way to make new money is like the dumbest idea ever. If you have an established business, like don't do that. So my side hustle was number one, like, hey, this is a long-term lifestyle change we want to make. Hey, I am not the full-time operator of this business. In fact, I'm doing the marketing of it, right? I'm doing the Instagram and the website. I'm doing all the things that I do in my main life in this business. My husband is the operator.
Mm,
I'm enjoying the sheep tremendously, but I'm not, I don't have to be out there every day. I work here, right?
yeah.
And it's a long-term play. It's going to make very little money, but it'll make a little bit of money, and that's good enough for that. I find so many people, they get passionate or they get disenchanted with their main business and they think the side hustle is going to create that new revenue for them. And it almost never does instantly. So, if you have a main business established, look for how you can add income in that main business and give your side hustle not main character energy in terms of your finances for a good while.
Yeah, I think if I'm kind of looking at through that lens with the fashion stuff, it's the kind of the reason I haven't done it is because it would all be me. Like there's like Eric cannot help out with that in any way, shape, or form. And I think I understand what it would take. So and again, it's like is it killing the love for it? So I think for me making that decision, like if it were to become a side hustle or make some income, number one, what you just said is like thinking about what my bandwidth would be for it and kind of working, that's the bandwidth I got for it. But also, like, I'm looking for ways to kind of cross, like almost like cross do it. Like, is there a way for me to do this and also do other things for my business, right? Like, can I combine them? Like, I'm starting to look at like, how can I work smarter, and more efficiently and not have two jobs, basically. But also, yeah, like just thinking through the long-term goal. Like, do I need money now? Because if so, this isn't going to be it. It's going to
Yeah.
it would take a really long time to become an influencer. And I don't even know if I want to become an influencer. So it's like, the reason I haven't done anything with it in order to make money with it is because I'm still in that zone of like, is this something I want to do to make money? And if so, I need to look at my limitations and my boundaries and understand like what would fit within that. And that is like, there's so many boundaries that I haven't done anything yet. It's like, I'm not exactly sure what that would look like.
Okay, so for advice for people who are in their main business and they are thinking about something new, there's a difference between here's your main business and you have a side hustle versus, hey, I'm pivoting. And I think understanding that difference is really critical. I'm not pivoting into full-time sheep farming. It is a side quest that I am using all of my marketing energy for, and it's adding a lot of wonderful things to my lifestyle. If I were pivoting, that's a very different thing. And I know that there are a lot of people in the market right now that it's they want to pivot and they don't know how, right? And that's a very different energy than creating a side hustle. You're not going to pivot into fashion, Kath, right? Like
Right.
you would be doing it as a side hustle for lifestyle, for enjoyment, for a little bit of money maybe later on down the road. Pivoting is different, and I think that we've seen a lot of people that come and they say, "Oh, I'm disenchanted with whatever I'm doing." And usually it's
Yeah.
marketing because that's what we serve, and they want to do something completely different. It does have to that whatever that new idea is, it has to prove that it's worth exiting your main business for. And we had a mastermind just last month, I think. Man, it feels like forever ago. And we had one person come on the mastermind and she said, I want to pivot. I'm a branding expert and I want to pivot into publishing. And I have a 90-day runway and I want to know over the next 2 days if that's realistic. And so we worked with her and it was like not really realistic. She was going to put all kinds of pressure on herself to make that publishing business hit 10K months in 90 days. And we determined it was probably more like a 6 month runway. And that meant that for the next at least 3 months, she had to continue to have her main business have main character energy. And that's a completely different journey than, hey, I have a side hustle or I have a hobby I want to monetize. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, a lot of people that they ask me about how did I switch from Love Inspired to Funnel Gorgeous? Like, and that's a perfect example of it took longer than I thought it would because, and at one point it was like 80% of my revenue was from web design clients in Love Inspired, 20% from Funnel Gorgeous course sales, right? Or drops, like when we started doing the
The
templates.
templates, yeah.
Right. And so like, but then eventually I would take on one less client and one less client and and so I was able to shift the momentum and the work energy and all that stuff from one to the other. And then eventually it was 80% of my revenue was Funnel Gorgeous, 20% was client work. That's part like dragged on for a little while, like because the projects are long projects, they're, were several months. So that part took a long time. And then I remember taking my last client in 2019, I think was like the last time. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the last one. But like, I was like,
Yeah.
I did not know this was going to take this long. Like, like if you would have told me I would have taken my last client in 2019, I would have been like, yeah, right. Like, I'm sure I'll be faster than that. No, it was way slow, but I wasn't in a rush. And I was just like, okay, this is what I know I'm working towards. But it was so smart to do it that way because then I didn't have any scary, drops in revenue. I didn't have to like chase around for client, like, you know what I mean? Like it just slowly kind of worked its way over.
Yeah.
And I also used it like to my advantage, like right, like both ways. Like stuff I was learning with Funnel Gorgeous, I was using with my clients, and with my clients, I was using with Funnel Gorgeous. So they really like it was an ecosystem that sort of fed each other, that just sort of swapped. So I think that's probably like the best way to pivot, at least if it's hugely different, like maybe even finding some, middle ground of like how can you like even what you said, you have a love for animals, so it's like you always knew you wanted to do something like with an animal farm, something zoo, whatever it
Yeah.
was, right? Like,
Zoo circus. Yeah.
yes, like housing, like taking care of animals is like the big picture, right? But then you're probably always kind of have been looking out for things that you can do, and then you found the sheep. I'm sure. I'm just guessing this is kind of how
Well,
it
it's so
happened.
funny. I just did a podcast episode on Million Dollar Grit about like how my whole farm idea came to be.
Gotcha.
So if people want to listen to that, they can. But what's so funny about this is if anybody knew how much money this was costing me, they would die 1,000 deaths. This is the most expensive thing I have ever done. This makes doing Disney Club 33 look like chump change. This
Well,
is
this is your side hustle is most people's main hustle, so let's be clear on that.
Well, but the thing is, I this is 100% a result of all the hard work I've done over 10 years. Because I don't know how anybody would start a business like this unless they had a trust fund, in which case like there's a lot of money going into this. And I also made it really clear on the podcast that it made sense because of the infrastructure that I bought when I bought the house. There was this moment where I was like, I'm living on 15 acres with two barns. If I'm not going to do something farmy, then why am I living here? Like, why am I costing myself
Yeah. Yeah.
like $5,000 a month in just maintenance costs if I'm not
Yeah.
going to do something with it?
Yeah.
And that was really the moment where I was like, I just need to use the leverage that I've already like invested in, or I
Mhm.
need to sell. And I was like, I don't want to sell this house. I love animals. And so that's why it made sense. And I just want everyone to hear me. Like, do not run off and start a hobby farm because you think that it's like super profitable, because I will not see a dime of the money I'm investing for a minimum of a year to a year and a half. And that's if I keep the sheep alive. So, like there's a lot at risk here. But I was able to take the risk because of all of the work that I've done over the decade. And I don't have to put pressure on this thing to make money, and I get to
Mhm.
experiment with marketing a totally different type of business, like I get to do all the farming and I'm doing the SEO and stuff, and it's just lighting up that marketer side of me. And so even though they seem like completely different businesses, I really am doing the same thing I've always done.
So are we just talking people out of it? Like, or do you need a hobby? Do us
Do
creative
I need a
people?
hobby?
Yeah, like no, like everybody.
Oh, everybody.
Like, are we just talking everybody out of doing a side hustle? Because it feels like we're just kind of so like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm wanting to kind of wrap this up with the positive side because I feel like we're saying don't do it if you do, don't do this, don't do this. So
Okay.
like,
All right. Well, so
is
let's take my
yeah, what's
husband
the
for example.
upside? And what'd you
So
say?
My husband, for
Okay.
example, right? He started a YouTube channel for NFL card breaking. That's a classic side hustle for him because his full-time job is, he has like 17 full-time jobs. And he absolutely loves it and he gets to make it a business expense. And he is not really making money at it yet, but he is planning to make money at it. And that would be an example of something he absolutely loves football. He loves card collecting. Like, why not try to monetize something that you love? It's not, as far as I can tell, it's not causing him to not love football or card collecting. And so in his case, this is a perfect side hustle for him to start monetizing his YouTube channel and his TikTok and stuff and make a little money so he can collect more cards.
What I heard from you saying that is it's the pressure that makes you not love it, right? So if he
Often, yeah.
had pressure to make money in it like right away and he had needed to start bringing in income, then maybe he would stop loving. You know what I mean? Like, so I think
It's
that's the
just, it would
big,
be unrealistic too. It's so
yeah.
unrealistic to think you can make money on YouTube within a year or two. I mean, it's a long play.
Well, according to marketers, it's not. I'm just saying, yeah. According to people online, you can make, you just become a content creator
Oh, sure,
overnight and you
sure.
can make lots of money. But yeah, it's not. We know the truth in that for sure.
Yeah. And I'm not discouraging people from doing side hustles. I'm definitely not discouraging people from hobbies. Like everybody should have hobbies that take them offline, that, give their brain a rest. But when it comes to side hustles, at the end of the day, it's about the motivation. If you are doing a side hustle because you need extra cash and you're in a job and you're freelancing on the side, that's like your classic side hustle, right? You have the gig economy. But if you have an online business already and you're looking at a side hustle to make more money, 99% of the time, your business, your established business can actually make you more money. It's just not as exciting.
Hmm.
And if you have an established business and you have systems and you want to do a side hustle because eventually you want it to make money or eventually you want it to be something bigger and you have the time and the exit ramp, then that's different. And I think that's how I would splice out, when to do what.
Yeah, so you just have to have a plan and map it out and not just kind of or just start it as a hobby and know it's a hobby. Just kind of put it there and then once
Yeah.
it becomes something else, then you make a plan, financial, time, energy, all that kind of stuff. And so I was just thinking, next step, if someone is having a hobby or doing a hobby, they do want to monetize it. Should they do offer brand? Probably.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think most things can be monetized. I mean, I think you and I think that way as marketers. Most things can be monetized. And an easy way to start is documenting your journey, creating an audience, going on social media, building an email list. And ideally, if that side hustle or that hobby is something you're already an expert at, you can make a digital product. Like I have not made a digital product for raising Valais black-nosed sheep because I am not an expert. So I am in the documentation part. But you can bet your bottom dollar that the minute I think I've got a handle on this, I am going to teach it because that's my nature. And for some people, they're already experts in whatever it is they're doing. Like, yeah, you can 100% teach that. So head over to offerbrand.com and fill out the offer brief inside the course and get yourself monetized as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I think you need to create that course because there's probably not very good information out there currently about, like I
No, I
know because
mean,
I know you struggled like trying to pull all this information together and you're like if this person hadn't have told me I needed to fill out this paperwork, like there's like lots of gaps, which is I think perfect for if someone is doing a side hobby and you're finding that there is not information out there that you actually needed and you just happened upon it, then you probably should. Once you get a handle on it, like Julie's saying, yes, you should make a product out of this thing because it doesn't
yeah.
already exist, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is such a fun discussion. Okay. Couple things. Go to offerbrand.com if you are wanting to monetize your side hustle. Of course, FG Funnels is a great tool to use to get your business, your online business going, whether it's a side hustle or your main business. You can go to fgfunnels.com. And if you want to hear the backstory of why and how my husband and I are starting Ivale Black Nose Sheep Farm, you can find that podcast episode at Million Dollar Grit. Thanks for hanging out with us. Talk soon.
Hey, gorgeous. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And if you're thinking, okay, but what now? We've got you. So just for listening today, we want to give you a gift. Head over to learngorgeous.com. We're going to grab some free resources, free trainings, this month's specials, and everything you need to keep going. Until next time, make it gorgeous.